All right, here we are at the Petersen Museum. You can see a taste of some of the cars that are here on display. The Petersen Museum, the Petersen Automotive Museum, is here in Mid-City, Museum Row, some people call it, and it's got a lot to offer for car lovers of any age, but families will love it too. And I'm gonna show you all the things about it. I'm gonna give you a rundown of bathrooms and eating and parking and all the important things that we care about, but of course the cars and the special treat of being able to see Lightning McQueen up close and take a picture and play with him. What's fun about this gallery, which is up here on the third floor, is you're sort of seeing the history and you're seeing like all kinds of cars from all eras. Occasionally you'll see one of these on the road, maybe we're at a special car show, but I'm pretty sure I've never seen one of these driving on the road. So that's kind of cool, is you get to see these cool cars. So the other fun thing is there's a very special car on the third floor here, and I want to make sure to show you, because all of these cars, there's a small rope that keeps us away from them. We're not allowed to touch them, understandably. They don't want my fingerprints on these cars. They spend a lot of time polishing and shining it. Look at this one. Amazing. So, and that we understand, but when you get over here, this is my favorite part of the whole museum. So here it is, coolest part of the museum, which is a life-size model of Lightning McQueen, and you can touch it. Like, it's okay. There's no rope around it. Touch, I'm touching, it's legal, it's okay. Nobody's gonna get mad at you. In fact, they encourage it. There's a sign, please touch. And you can also do a picture. You could pose and they'll do a photo booth picture of you and you can email it to yourself. So, super fun. Look at this. So the Discovery Center is awesome. It's like this fantastic place for kids to play. There is a fun antique car that you can get up and sit in and touch, which is unlike other cars in the museum. This is a go-kart that you could get in and pretend to ride. You can play with pistons, pretend you are making the engine work. This is a fun part. You get to make a little car out of Legos. There's the wheels and everything. And then you bring it over here and roll it down a track. Now, if you have little kids who love to play with Legos, this is gonna be one of their favorite things. Super fun. You can do it all day long if you want. Here's a little car table. Perfect height for a toddler. And you can roll the trucks and cars around the track. Want to play on the floor? There's a super fun mat over here with a little town, and you can roll the animals and trucks around. You can have story time. Look, they do readings. In the summer, you can play, you can make fun stuff happen. There's also crafting tables. There's some coloring you can do with some of the cars' characters. Looks like you can draw. And the whole space has Mater and Lightning McQueen schematic drawings. Very, very fun place. What's nice about this part of the museum is that, like I said, it's super contained. So there's a couple of doors, but it's like you're in this room that's separate from the rest of the museum. And so it's this great place where you can like let the kids run around and play in here. Probably if they were like my kids, they'll be on this ramp with their little Lego cars for hours. And what's fun too is you get to sit in the car. I'm gonna sit in it right now so you can see that you're allowed to touch it, which, you know, the rest of the cars, most of the cars, you're really not allowed to touch. But as you can see, I get to sit in the car. That's fun. Pretend I'm driving on an old-timey street. Super fun. I love this part of the museum. So the second floor of the museum is called the industry floor. And so you'll find lots of galleries here, some special exhibits like the Wedge Revolution, which is happening currently in summer of 2025. Check out that thing. That's an actual car. It drives. And some of the Lamborghinis, the Lambos, as they say. And then you keep going around the museum on the second floor. There are some other special galleries that have, you know, traveling exhibits, occasional exhibits. This is an exhibit of bicycles and motor bicycles. These are kind of awesome. Yeah, like motorcycle but bicycles. Right. And then this is part you'll see out to the parking structure, which is nice. There is a parking structure here. This is the Meerberg Family Gallery, the Charles Meerberg. This is currently an exhibit of race cars. Look at that one. Super fun. Now this exhibit, this gallery will not always have this exhibit. They'll have different cars periodically changing. Look at this with the fun surround video. This is the Bruce Meyer Family Gallery, and again, this will be a changing exhibit. Currently, the impact of Kent Block, as you can see, but it'll be different exhibits over time. Super cool race cars, again with the sound, the immersive experience, not just the actual cars sitting here, which are cool enough, but you're getting, on top of that, you're learning a lot about the cars and how they're made, and Ken Block and his legacy in this case of this exhibit. Lots and lots of fun cars to look at, and all the things that go with them. But again, here you don't touch. So kids who like to touch, that's what the Discovery Center is great for. This is one of my favorite galleries, and it's a part of the permanent collection here at the museum. But there's some famous cars, famous from movies and TV shows, and so I'm just gonna turn the camera around and show you. So this is the Roth and Beth Meyers Gallery, and what we have is some cool cars that were in movies and TV. If you are old enough to remember the Love Bug movies, this is Herbie from the Love Bug. If you're not old enough, it's still cute. And then this is from what movie? Oh, Green Hornet. Oh my goodness, what an amazing car. Look at that. Batman. We have an AMC Pacer. Oh, Wayne's World. Maserati. Penguin. This Scooby-Doo. Super fun. Anyway, so that's always fun. Sometimes there's a Batmobile in here too. But these are kind of fun cars. These are some interesting electric cars and alternate fuels. Look at that. Look at that. So there's lots of cool exhibits and ways to learn about the different fuel technologies and engine parts if your kids are into that, or if you are. This is a fun, interesting design of a car. Anyway, so there are lots and lots of cool things to see. Not all cars look like a standard sedan or SUV or minivan that you see on the streets these days, which is kind of fun for kids to see different things, and these are, you know, the history of electric vehicles, which is kind of cool. Look at this. All right, now here's some interesting stuff. This is Waymos. If you live in Los Angeles or San Francisco or a big city where they have Waymos, Waymos are self-driving cars. And there's a whole exhibit here about how it works and what they look like. And if you've not seen one driving around, let me tell you, they drive around and they don't have a driver. It's fascinating. But if you, like I said, if you live in LA, you know the Waymos. They're around. Autonomous ride. So that's kind of fun that they have. There's a way to see a lot of interactive and immersive experiences here at the museum. Here's an explainer about the autonomous driving system of the Waymo. So cool. This is the new, this one I haven't even seen on our roads here. This is new. Compact version of a Waymo. All right. Here on the first floor, there is an ever-changing exhibit, and currently totally awesome in the summer of 2025. But this floor, this gallery's exhibit changes often. So the super nice Michelin Man, he's inviting us into the vault, which is here in the Petersen. The vault has so many cars in it, and you can get to see them now. It's a separate admission from the rest of the museum, but worth it if you're super into cars. And also if you just want to see how many cars there are, there's a lot of cars. So that's something to think about when you want to come. Occasionally they have special vault days too, so you might want to check. But anyway, that's just a scale map of how big the vault is and what is contained in it. I wonder if they know. Oh no, it says 300 vehicles, 70,000 square feet. I feel like it's more than 300, but okay if they say so. So the vault has obviously cars for days, and some of these are quite old, 1914. That's in remarkably good shape. Of course, they're all restored and cared for, and then it goes on, and we're gonna see there's lots of things. So this is a section with a certain type of car, a certain era of car from years and years ago. And then you can go on a guided tour if you use the QR code. You'll see over here we have some race cars, and then there's an entire exhibit of BMW cars. Look at this, can you imagine? You are into race cars. This is super fun. And so what's cool is these are all, I mean, there's so many vehicles, they can't fit them even in the regular museum space. So they have their vault, and you get to come and see so many more amazing vehicles. All right, so that was just one room, people, by the way. So now we're going into a whole other room of the parking garage. And I'm just gonna give you a taste of just how spacious this vault is. It goes on and on and on. There's a section of red cars. And we're even going to go around the corner because there's more. Oh, you thought that was it? No, there's more. This is maybe where they're actually working on restoration down in here. Amazing. Look at this. Wow. What year? This is a 1925 Rolls Royce. I don't know how many cars are down here, but it's a bunch. A whole bunch. So if you love to look at cars, you will not get tired of it. Look at how shiny the floor is down here. They have polished this floor. This is a very fancy car. Now, I would drive this car. This car is my kind of style. Lovely. By the way, there's a free self-guided tour that you can do using a QR code. Just letting you know. Okay, so there's also a timeline of the museum itself, which is kind of fun and interesting. For obvious reasons, I'm not going to show you any video of the bathrooms, but I will say that there are plentiful, very clean restrooms. And so, just so you know that. There are elevators to all the floors in case you are pushing a stroller, which is good to know, and stairs if you would prefer to do it that way. Another nice thing about the museum is there are lots of benches around the galleries where, you know, let's just say you want to sit down for a minute, or you need your kids to sit down for a minute. You can. If looking around at all these cars makes you hungry, guess what? They also have a cafe. So it's called the Meyers Manx, and there's table service and counter service. And I am going to get you the information about but there's also a bar, the menu and the hours. Let's look here. What do we have? So it looks like you're not going to be able to read that. I'll let you know. All right, I just checked for you. So the cafe opens at 8 a.m. even though the museum may not open till 10. So that's kind of fun. So you can have a little breakfast or coffee or something beforehand. They close at 3 on weekdays, and then on weekends they close at 4. Of course, double check the website, make sure if they've changed their hours, which they might do. But right now you can kind of get a sense. I saw there's a chef making fresh pizza dough, and the menu offers California type fare as usual in California. So there is of course a gift shop, and you can get your merch with your Petersen t-shirts and of course toy cars, lots of those. And if you spend $75 in the gift shop, you get free parking, because while there is plentiful parking, it does cost. And then so when you arrive, you come into the main lobby, which is here. This is the main entrance. And then, lights changed. And then you need to go over to the admissions desk. And there are levels of membership. Obviously, children are a different rate than seniors and adults, and you can become a member. There are admission prices, like I meant to say, and then you will have lots of options. So plentiful and very clean bathrooms on all 3 floors, which is super nice. The vault floor is down in the basement, the parking garage basement area, and I'm not sure about the restrooms there, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are some. But yeah, the Petersen Museum, super fun. I'm gonna get some video of the outdoors as well, because the exterior of the museum is quite impressive. There you go. This is the exterior of the Petersen Museum. Isn't this just kind of the coolest thing you've ever seen? It's like a piece of art. It is a piece of art. And it makes for one of the most distinctive museum or any kind of building wrapped there is. one of the things we want to make sure you know is what's nearby and what else you can do when you come visit a museum. The Petersen is on Museum Row, which is on Wilshire Boulevard. And so across the street, I mentioned, is the Academy Museum of Motion Pictures. There it is. And then behind us, or whatever direction, that's LACMA, which is under construction now in the summer of 2025, but will be reopening. And then there's also La Brea Tar Pits beyond that. So that's kind of fun. Now, you may not want to do all of these museums in one day, which I would understand and support. However, you just need to know they're close by. So in case you did want to do a couple of them at once, that's kind of fun. There's some construction going on too. But not far away, just a couple of blocks to the north of the Petersen, is the Grove and the LA Farmers Market, which is a place to go, and there's food, there's shopping, there's stuff to do, walking around, seeing people, watching people doing fun things. But so that's pretty close by too, which is great. And again, one of the best things about the Petersen is that, well, because if you like cars, everything's great about it, but it's got plenty of parking.